Hey you guys, SEK the Homesteader here. All right you guys, so today was a cleanup day for me, you guys, and throughout this cleanup I said I might as well give you guys a tour on what's happening on the homestead. Okay family, so I finally got to my trellis area where my grapevines was. It was a lot of work, you guys, cutting those vines and trying my best not to cut my grapevines too far back to where they don't come back. So it was a lot of work. I had to pile it up, haul it off to the back, and dump it off where I collect my leaves and things of that nature. So I was able to get a lot cleaned up in the trellis area. I still have to work on this side, you guys, and this is going to probably be my first project that I will work on in the 4 months. Remember I told you guys I'm going to be transforming my raised beds, and I didn't put anything in these raised beds. I was tempted to, and I think what I'm going to do is actually throw some soil, because I still have soil bags and some compost, and I may do that, but right now I'm tempted on growing in my galvanized rings, which, as you guys can see, there's something missing in this trellis area. All right you guys, so yes, I did get rid of all of my blue buckets that was in this trellis area, because what I found is they weren't being productive for me, and I don't know if my blue buckets over here was overshading the small ones that was right here. So I got rid of them, and I took all my soil, dumped it off into these two galvanized beds, and I think I'm going to put some transplants in those. I don't want to just leave those there because they look too nice to not be growing anything. So I did get rid of most of the buckets over here. I just realized I still got one more to go. So I have to get rid of that one. So again, the reason why I did that, you guys, because I think my blue buckets over here on my left and my right side was overshadowing the smaller blue buckets that was in this area. So I don't think they was getting as much sun as they possibly could have, but I wasn't having that much luck. I did get a few butternut squash out of them, and a few cucumbers, I think, in my first year, but not a lot. It seems like these do the most production for me right now. So I did clean this up. This was work, you guys, cutting all those vines down and pulling them, and that stuff was everywhere. So I was able to get it done. And over here, you guys, all the vegetation is doing really good over here. My collard greens and my broccoli. I do have some cabbage that is in here as well. And this is what I've been noticing these last few days. I've been getting these little pop-ups of, and I'm thinking it's my garlic, you guys. So y'all remember I did sow some garlic in this area, and I'm having pop-ups all throughout this bed, which is not a bad thing. Now, when I planted the collard greens and the broccoli that is over here, I noticed that I did have a few of my garlics that was trying to form, and look at there, the roots are still good in that one. I might even try to just dig that in there and see what it do. But yeah, I'm getting these sporadic blooms of garlic heads, or it might be even wild onions, but I don't think so. This has to be the garlic, because they are all throughout this bed. So this is what the collard green broccoli bed is looking like. Very pleased with that. And also over here is the same thing, some collards, some cabbage. And my apologies, you guys, I am back. I had a cutoff. So what I was explaining to you guys, that on my right side I have a lot of pop-ups of garlic or wild onions that are coming in that raised bed to my right over here. And over here, this raised bed is doing really well. And I also planted some tender greens while it was still warm, and they did germinate. They're all over the place. And I think a lot of other seeds germinated in here as well. I was saying that I had some potatoes, some sweet potatoes that are popping up. And I think I had another potato around here somewhere. But overall, these beds are doing good. And remember, I was supposed to get rid of this one, and I decided that I'm going to try to grow something. So I did put some, what is Swiss chard? I did sow some Swiss chard in here, as well as some pak choi. So this is what this bed is looking like. And hopefully I'll get some Swiss chard in here. So these grow bags, I'm really happy about these grow bags here, because I was gonna leave these alone, and I decided, well, since it was still warm, let me give it a go. And I threw some lettuce, different variety of lettuce, in all of these bags. So what I'm gonna do is top these off with some slow release fertilizer to get them bumped up some. And I believe I had put pak choi in this grow bag over here. So I'm glad I did sow some seeds, because the other grow bags didn't germinate well on that side. And remember I told y'all about the peppers are all over the place, you guys. Look, so there is going to be another harvest of peppers. So I must say that these didn't get big, but I got lots of these plubanos. Even though they didn't get big, I mean, they came through the fence. They came right into the planter box. And they still thriving, you guys. They still all over the place. Look, there's a lot of them. And also my jalapenos, my Tabasco peppers are coming in. So I may wind up with just a jar of those, but that's okay. Now remember, look at the jalapenos. They are all over the place. So there will be another harvest of the jalapenos. And here are the, what they call them, cherry bomb peppers that are coming in a lot now for some reason too. But I don't think they're going to reach the red color. So I'm going to have to harvest those, because the nights is getting cooler. Like I said, the jalapenos just went crazy. What was it? Hurricane Ian did a wonderful job out here in the garden. So we did get downpour of a lot of rain, which was good and which was needed. So like I said, jalapenos are all over the place. They definitely wilded out and was prolific for me this year. And then I think this is one of my bell pepper plants that's still trying to grow, but it's not producing anything. So lots and lots of jalapenos that are still growing. All right, you guys. So this is what it's looking like. And I'm using my shade cloth to keep it covered at night, because the deers is definitely wilding out over there where my sweet potatoes are. And I had put, I think, collards in. What happened over here was some tomato seeds must have germinated in these, because I had tomatoes in it. So I'm just gonna let them do what they're doing. And these bags over here, I did plant seeds in them. They were trying to germinate, but then they slowed up on me. So again, tomato plants started forming in these grow bags, because I had tomato plants in there. So I'm sure the tomatoes that dropped down, the seeds germinated. So I'm just gonna leave those be as well. So let's get on over here. Where we still have jalapenos growing, you guys. Y'all see them? So this bed is getting ready to get cleaned out. We still have some banana peppers that are trying to grow, but it's pretty much done. This raised bed is pretty much done. They had all the peppers, and there's some more pompanos. They're not gonna make it, so it's time to cut this back and just let that bed rest. But see, all the peppers that's still coming in, these plubanos. Again, I wish they were bigger, but that's okay, because I got a lot of them. Jalapenos, they're still flowering. So I'm gonna keep dousing them with some fishing motion to get them to give me another harvest. All right, you guys, so we are over here at the purple grow bag area, and we are growing kale. I had some carrot seeds that germinated. I did try to thin out some of the carrots, but I think now it'll probably be a little bit easier for me to thin them out, but I'm not going to thin them out too much because they I did take a lot out. So this bed did germinate pretty well. They're definitely spaced out, so I'm not gonna bother this bed too much. And then this bed didn't germinate as much as I thought it would, so I'm just gonna leave that be because I don't think any seeds are probably gonna germinate out of there. And then over here is where I think I have planted the cabbage or some pak choy, and this is really doing well. And for some reason the deers are not bothering this, but I'm trying to keep it covered at night. And over here I had I think some type of collards, the Yates, and then I threw in some more tender greens and some more lettuce on this bed. I think I did, as well as this bed, but this one didn't germinate as much. So I'm looking forward to seeing how filled up this gets. This needs some slow release fertilizer on top of that. And this bed, I think I put some tender greens in here as well as over here. So this would be a lot of greens and also some cabbages as well. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, so throughout Ian, my shade cloths did fly off, and the deers did get to the back end of this one, and they even got to the middle. This was all full with vines. They got to the middle of this area, and they definitely had a field day in here. So I'm not ready to harvest my sweet potatoes as of yet, but I really need to take a look inside of it to see if there's any bulging of some potatoes. Y'all wish me luck. This is my first time growing sweet potatoes in these raised beds, which are deeper. So hopefully I got some in there. But like I said, I don't see anything bulging yet. But again, I'll probably come in here tomorrow and just take them off and just feel my way around just to see. But for the most part, the vines was definitely nice and lush. But like I said, the shade cloth flew off, and you can see they just came in and raised it up. That's okay. We're gonna keep it moving. And over here, those beds are cleared out. The fruit trees are going to sleep slowly, and probably the month of January, February, I'm gonna prune them all back. And let's see, I did see some figs growing on here, but I bet you the squirrels done got to it. And we did have some persimmons growing that I did see some time back, but I could see, yep, she's definitely getting ready to go to sleep. But the trees did grow very well this year. They did get fertilized. Oh, there we go, you guys. There we go. Yes. This one gave me four persimmons. Yay. So I'm probably going to give it another week or so and then harvest them. But yeah, I got 4 persimmons, you guys. I knew one of my persimmon trees had some on there. And she's getting tall, but she's definitely went through some changes. I have to stake her a little bit better. So I did try to put a metal stake in there to keep her from wobbling, because she was wobbling. I guess it was the deers, the combination of the deers and the wind. So like I said, all the fruit trees did really well as far as growing this season. So hopefully next year we'll start seeing more and more fruit as the time goes by. So y'all already know most of these is apples, pears, peaches, persimmons, and my blueberries, they already died back, but my blueberries took off once I planted them, and then they seem to start struggling. I don't know why, but they did. So hopefully next year it'll be a better year. They'll come back stronger, I'm hoping so. But when I first got them planted in, they did really well. They looked like they was happy, and then they just went through some changes. All right, so this is what the homestead is looking like. And the bees have been working, you guys. I have been checking on them. And as you can see, I had birds nesting all the trees. That's another reason why I didn't even fool with my trees, but I did give them they food stakes and stuff like that. Then there was another nest over here. Yeah, I had bird nests all over the place this year. So you guys, the bees have been doing their job. So I'm going to get ready to get them ready for the winter months. But as you can see, they are still working. I haven't bothered them. I left them alone. And look, they still bringing in their pollen sacs, you guys. They are still working. So I also have to check to see if I need to give them a mite treatment. I'm sure that needs to be done. I need to check on these other boxes and see what's going on with them. And definitely gonna have to give them a good feed so they could get through the winter. I also was thinking about putting some type of foam around the boxes to keep them a little bit warm. I know in colder climates I see people do that, but you guys, look, they are still working. They still working, you guys, bringing the pollen in. So I don't have no suit on, but I try to be as brave as I possibly can. But I go over there and check them from time to time, and I see that they still working, and I make sure I give them their sugar water. But for the most part, I don't even bother them. As long as I see them working, hopefully my queen is okay. So definitely need to go in, do a thorough checkup, and I will be doing that soon. So you guys, this is what the homestead is looking like. Still haven't gotten to the other raised beds. I will one day. Still trying to figure out if I'm going to put anything in these cinder blocks. I'm tempted to. There's this part of me that want to put something in there and then grow inside the holes of the cinder blocks. So still trying to figure it out, you guys. All right, you guys, so this is SEK, the homesteader. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of the fall garden. And as you can see over there, needs a lot of work. So I still got work to do, you guys. So I will definitely bring you guys some footage on how I will be transforming that area over there with my strawberry patch. All of this is going to be changed out. This is going to be like a new garden, you guys. The pepper row, I may keep the pepper row, but I'm noticing that those buckets are beginning to get worn out too. And you know, your buckets and your raised beds is probably going to give you five years max. I hear people say, oh, you can get about 10 years out of the raised beds. You may be able to get that, but not for me. But so this whole side will be transformed come this fall, new spring. And I have to clean out the other trellis area where I had butternut squash growing. That's what you see over there in that fence. And some cucumbers did grow over in that area as well. But the butternut squash did really well over there. So I need to really clean up that bed. I need to cut back my raspberry plant that's back there. And I need to get rid of my strawberry bag, which has went to kaput due to weather. And I may be transferring the raspberry bush because that is invasive. Queen Mother Angela told me they're very invasive. And when I tell you that plant went all over the place, and I have cut back several times this summer. So I'm thinking about moving it to the back of the yard, like way back there, and let it just wild out back there. So all right, you guys, this is SEK the Homesteader. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys on the next video. Make sure you continue to prep. And yes, we are going into our canning season, so I will be looking forward to seeing what everybody is canning. I'm definitely going to be attempting to do some other types of canning projects and learn more about other different things that you can can other than the meats and the jellies. So I hope to see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Peace.